Hey everyone, my name is Ernestina Pérez and I am a clinical psychotherapist and founder of Latinx Talk Therapy. And so I am going to review a clip from 90 Day Fiancé where we have a couple, including a Latina from Colombia. So let's see what happens in this dynamic. Let's take a look.
I want to tell you something, but I don't want you to get mad.
Okay. So already to start, I think that maybe the guy is bringing up that he wants to talk about something, but as we all know, just the way that he presents it, if you start a conversation by saying, hey, I don't want you to be mad at me, it's kind of like telling a person, be mad at me, because you're already kind of telling them, naming a feeling. So there could have been a different way where he could have approached it that wouldn't have set himself up, to communicate to her that she might be upset. I don't know. Let's see what happens next.
I won't promise you anything, Tim. You just need to be honest with me. I mean, I am a human. I will have a reaction, obviously.
I just feel like you're going to take it the wrong way.
What's going on?
Okay, so I am observing some tension, already in the conversation. She seems to be upset with him, and I can tell from her body language, like from her face, she's kind of scrunching her brows. I don't know if she's maybe starting to have thoughts about what it is that he's going to say, or maybe she's assuming, but he hasn't said anything, and she's kind of seems already a little upset. So let's continue to watch.
I got a text from my ex.
From Veronica?
No, not Veronica. Another one. My last girlfriend, she was Colombian, from Bogota.
Really? Like me? This is just so funny.
Okay, so right there, I think that this often happens when couples are maybe having a disagreement, which is kind of the use of sarcasm. But, sarcasm is funny when, it's light and maybe it's used for humor, but during a conversation like this one where you're sensing a little tension, it's very important to use direct communication. And I think that, the character, the woman from Colombia, she seems to be having a hard time just using her words and maybe expressing that she's feeling maybe upset or disappointed, because she's kind of conveying, the opposite. She's saying, this is kind of funny, when you can really tell that it's not funny, which kind of leads to further miscommunication. And now, on the other end, I think that her partner seems to be a little frustrated. He's also not saying this, but I can kind of tell from his body language. He's, touching his face. He kind of looks like he's a little bothered. Let's see how they talk this out.
Do you really just keep talking with your exes?
No, I didn't. She texted me.
You mentioned that you met a lot of Latin girls, but I didn't knew it was from Colombia and it was your last girlfriend. Are you trying to replace or what?
I'm not trying to replace her.
I won't be your replace, okay? I don't understand why he took so much time to tell me the truth about his ex. I feel like he has some kind of feelings for her because you wouldn't hide it if it doesn't affect you. I'm very disappointed.
Okay, so here, I think she is kind of getting at maybe how she's feeling, but she's still not really naming it. I'm getting a sense that perhaps what's happening is that she might be upset because she's perceiving that he's just replacing his ex-girlfriend with her, because there's a lot of similarities. Like his ex-girlfriend was also Colombiana, so maybe she's having thoughts about what that means. But again, I think she's still maybe just assuming that without just directly saying to him something like, hey, you know what, we're having this meal together, and I was really trying to connect with you, and I'm noticing you're bringing up your ex, and you're kind of telling me about how she's like me, and now I'm feeling like a bit conflicted or confused, or like this isn't as meaningful, and that's starting to hurt my feelings, or I'm feeling disappointed by it, something like that. I think instead of maybe taking that route, she's just, reacting. She seems upset, and so let's see how he responds to that.
I don't trust him right now. How long was this relationship?
2 years.
Is that real?
We weren't just dating, we were living together. It was serious.
So you have still having emotions for her? Because you have been estranged with me.
I didn't text her, she texted me. I didn't text her back. I'm not gonna text her back.
I don't care about that. You got so affected by it, then I care. I need to see the texting.
All that says is all.
I need to see it.
Okay, so in this, portion of the clip we just saw, I think she used the word trust. I think she's sensing that maybe that's what's happening. She, is feeling some kind of fear, maybe, or threat by him bringing up his ex-girlfriend. And so maybe she does feel mistrust, and in that sense, she could maybe communicate that to him again, but I think she's doing it in a way where she's kind of assuming something and not clearly saying, what she's feeling and what she would like to happen. And I think she, even towards the end, is kind of assuming that, if she saw his phone or something like that, or read the text messages, that, maybe that would be helpful. Maybe it would give her more information, but it definitely would not create trust, because trust is really built in moments of vulnerability where people are being really honest and they feel seen and heard by their partners. So in the way that they're communicating, really the opposite is happening. And what I'm sensing from him is that he also has a very indirect way of communicating, because instead of maybe saying, I don't know, just tuning into his compassion for her, saying something like, hey, you seem bothered, like, that's understandable, but let's talk it out, or saying, hey, you know what, now that you're saying that, I realize I am bringing in the past, and that's probably not a good idea, because, the thing, our dating is important to me, and it's this connection is important, so I understand how you'd get mad if I'm talking about an ex right now. He's not really doing that. I kind of see that he also has like this pattern of indirect communication, which is further creating disconnection. And now I think she's going to try to maybe manage the feelings that she has by going outside of herself and trying to, maybe take some control over his actions, which, that's not gonna end up well. But let's see how it ends.
You have her like mommy?
That was her nickname.
Is that real team?
I just never changed it. That's what I called her when we were together.
I don't care. Why didn't you change that? And you're here with me? Like doing what? Playing or what?
I don't know why you care. We're having like...
Okay, so I think that we have seen a lot about the dance that this couple, has created together so far. It seemed to me like she was really angry toward the end, kind of got triggered by his comment and what she saw in his phone. In some ways, I can understand maybe that she is feeling angry or jealous, but the way that she kind of handled that moment was by reacting from a place of anger. She threw, something at his face. I think it was water, and that I think that just further escalates the argument. If she were just to have, and this is difficult, but owned her feelings of jealousy, if that's what she was feeling, that would have really helped. Because I think if you tell somebody, even though it feels vulnerable, you say, hey, I thought this was really important, or I really cared about you, so I just feel, I feel disappointed, but I also feel jealous that, you may still care for somebody, and I just don't think that this is a good idea. I need to take a moment because I'm starting to get really angry when I think about it. And then, take a pause there while she calmed down. I think something like that would have been more helpful. For him, I just feel like the way he's showing up in the relationship, I think that also just points to maybe like a lack of like emotional maturity a little bit, because he could definitely take some accountability, right, in what's happening. He's, you know, got this other, his ex-girlfriend on his phone, and she's messaging him, and her name is Mommy, which I don't know, already I think that would be a red flag for anybody. So the fact that he, you know, doesn't take more accountability and say something like, hey, you know what, you're right, like, let me just change your name right now. It's not, you know, it's irrelevant that that name stays on the phone the way it is. Like, I don't care for this person that way, or we're just friends or whatever. But I mean, I think even in the message, it's kind of clear that he's kind of not taking it seriously. That could also be something that's triggering her, because she seems really angry. But again, it's hard to know really what she's feeling, but because she's really just talking about kind of sarcastically toward him. So I don't know, this couple definitely is going to need some time, and would need a lot of, you know, maybe practice communicating with each other, especially during times when things are not going well. Okay, well, this was really interesting to watch. I mean, maybe we could do another one of these next time. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give us a like, and if you are interested in learning more about couples therapy, or you have a question or anything like that, feel free to reach out to us at Latinx Talk Therapy.